Hi all, welcome to our YouTube channel Cosmetic Clinic. Today's video is a special video. This is mainly to address some of the doubts regarding liposuction. One of the most commonly asked questions under our videos is like, Doctor, am I a good candidate for liposuction? It's a very gray area in which we need so much to demonstrate to you to decide whether you are a good candidate for a liposuction. For that, you should understand the fat distribution in your body, the different fat compartments in your body, and from which all area we can remove the fat and which all area we surgeons find it difficult to remove the fat with a liposuction. Do you need a bariatric surgery or a liposuction to get the best results, and who are the best candidate and who can get the best results? So this is the topic for today's discussion. So with this, I'll be going to a picture in which we show the different fat distributions in the body, and I will explain to you in detail how is the candidature for a liposuction. So let's start seeing the different kinds of fat distribution in the body and which all fat are amenable to a liposuction surgery. So there are three pictures. In the first picture, you can see a person with very less fat distribution in the body. He has very less what is called is superficial fat and a visceral fat. So what is this SF and VF? This superficial fat is a fat which is outside the body muscles, which is there in the skin, which is pinchable and which can be seen from outside, which is not around the organs, but it is outside the body, like just underneath the skin, outside the main body systems. So what is VF, what is mentioned in the picture? So VF is something which is visceral fat, which is inside the body, like which is around the organs. You can see that VF more in the second picture. This is inside the body, and there is something called the abdominal muscles which comes in between these structures, which is the superficial fat and the inside visceral fat. So in the third picture, you can nicely see there is a very high risk patient. High risk means the cardiovascular risk. So how much more fat you have inside the abdomen, which is around your organs, like intra-abdominal organs, which is kind of fat. This is the stomach. Let's use another color for that. So this is the stomach and liver region. This is the large intestine, and these are the small intestine. There is something called omentum here in between these our intra-abdominal structures, and in the omentum and around the organ, the fat accumulates. So if you have more fat outside the muscles, what is called the superficial fat, there is a higher risk, but it's called a moderate risk, not the highest risk. It's a moderate risk. If you have more fat inside the viscera, like around the organs, and not outside, it is the highest risk. So that is the one measure which we use to decide the cardiac risk in a patient who have obesity. Like those who have very high amounts of visceral fat, they have higher risk for cardiac incident, and those who have lesser visceral, but both of these people look same. So if you consider, if you're seeing from outside, what is the difference between these two clients? So their abdomen is almost the same size from outside, but you can see the different distribution of fat here. So this is the first thing which I mentioned was the cardiovascular risk. Now let's come to our business. We will compare these two patients, this moderate risk patient, high risk patient, and I can tell you who is the better candidate for a fat removal. Like, see, definitely if you can, reduce this fat with some exercise and diet, that is the best option. Because with the exercise and diet, not just the belly fat which comes down, your fat distribution in the full body, even the other areas, it will come down. So your weight comes down. You will, your life will be more balanced. And the only thing is you should be able to maintain it with a proper exercise and diet. I'm just talking about people who are finding it difficult to maintain that diet or exercise, and those who tend to reaccumulate fat in their body again, they are the candidates for any of the surgeries. So if a client who is coming to me belongs to this type 1 and another client who is coming to me is type 2, how is the prognosis in these two patients? Like, who is a good candidate for liposuction? I can definitely tell you the type 1 is a good candidate, is a best candidate for liposuction, and type 2 is a bad candidate for liposuction. Okay, why it is? Because of why it is like that. So you can see there is a barrier which I mentioned to you before. What is that? That is called the abdominal musculature. So there is something called abdominal muscle here, and inside that there is a visceral fat, and outside is a superficial fat. So this fat, which I was mentioning before, the superficial fat, can be easily removed through a liposuction, because it's not very deep, it's over the muscle. I can enter through the skin either from above or below, and I can remove this fat. So the skin which is draped above this fat, which comes down like here. So what will happen? So once you lose these fat, your abdominal skin will be like this. So you will be very much like the type 1 guy. So you can see this type 2 guy, once I remove this extra abdominal fat, which is superficial fat, is becoming like the type 1. Okay, so type 1 is the lowest risk. But one thing you should understand, just by removing the fat outside, you may not become a low risk person. But what advantage you have is, like, you become more flexible, you become more health conscious, and you look better, and you have that motivation to do more exercise, take more diet, and have a better lifestyle. So when the second type of patient comes to me, what should I tell them? So I tell them, I can remove this fat from outside your body, which is the superficial fat, but the results which you get may not be as good as the first patient. So what do I do for that? So I do an ultrasound for all the patients who are coming for liposuction to check the fat thickness on their anterior abdominal wall. So in this first client, his fat thickness may be a 10 centimeter, and the second guy, his fat thickness may be let's take it as 5 centimeter. Okay, so this 5 centimeter guy, I can reduce maximum of 3 centimeters of fat from his body with a liposuction. But from this 10 centimeter abdominal wall guy, I can take 8 centimeter fat from his body. So you can understand how is the results going to be different in both these clients. So this is how the candidature for the liposuction is decided. And another most important thing when we think about these two body types are, this first type person can have this first type person can have a fat reduction or so when we consider exercise and diet in these two types of person, there is an important thing. This type 2 persons, if he takes a diet and exercise, he will definitely have a much better results than the type 1 person. How come? Because this the fat which is outside the body, which is superficial, is almost called a stubborn fat, which doesn't respond really well to diet or exercise. But this fat which is inside the abdomen, which is called the visceral fat, is very responsive to exercise and diet. So this guy will have a very good results with diet and exercise, but this guy will not have. So again, I will mention liposuction is not a solution for everyone, but even the type 1 guy will have the type 1 guy may have a better results with the liposuction, and the type 2 guy will have a better results with diet and exercise. But definitely the type 1 guy also should have some diet and exercise to maintain the results and to avoid the cardiac risks. So I think I have explained to you regarding these body types, the different kinds of fat distribution, which type of body fat is more amenable to liposuction, and which type of body fat is more amenable to diet and exercise. So guys, this is all about the different types of body fat distribution, and you can understand a little bit about who all are a better candidate for a diet and exercise, and who all are going to benefit with a liposuction surgery from comparing those type 1 and type 2 clients. So if you have any further doubts after watching this video, or which I cannot clear with this video, you can ask us in the comment box. Please do like us and subscribe to our channel for similar kind of videos. We'll be keep teaching you regarding different aspects of plastic and cosmetic surgery, whichever is coming to our domain. And thanks for watching.